one of the investors. What if I create some contacts inside the Hello students and welcome to another lecture, and the topic of this lecture is white collar crimes in India. So to understand various judgments, yet another lecture is here. White collar crimes. What are white collar crimes? Because we often hear these terms and this term white collar crimes. How to distinguish between blue collar and white collar? That is what we are going to read in this lecture and in this article. Blue collars are usually associated with the skilled labor class. That is who are not occupied in intellectual occupations, while the people who are mental laborers or who are occupied in intellectual positions and intellectual occupations, they are known as white collared people. So the crime is also distinguishable now, that blue collar crimes, they are those offenses which are mostly physically done, and they do not have the perpetrators do not enjoy any societal status. While in the white collar crimes, the perpetrators, they are intellectually high, and they have a good social status in the society as well. So let us first understand white collar crimes in India, an extensive legal analysis. Now, emphasis is placed on the role of technological advancements, organized criminal activities, and the omnipresence of corruption, particularly within the domains of fraud, insider trading, and other forms of financial misconduct. This discourse further evaluates the efficacy of existing legal frameworks and suggests prospective reforms to curb these sophisticated crimes. Now, these are some of the planned and sophisticated crimes. Like, for example, the crime, if you study and analyze or make a comparative analysis between the crimes in the north and crimes in the south of India, you will come to know that the crime pattern is very different. It's not that I'm not saying that the crimes are differently committed in north and that they are differently committed in the south. No, that is not the case. But since, for example, Bangalore has been the oldest IT hub of the country, and being the IT hub, it was prone to the most cyber frauds in the country. No other place in India would witness as much cyber crimes and white collar crimes as did Bangalore, because it was the most IT hub. Now, since the IT sector has completely spread its, it has completely spread to the entire country. Now, this and people, these gadgets and these internets and these technologies has fallen into everybody's hand. So it has become accessible for everyone to commit these kinds of crimes from anywhere in the country, in any nook and corner of the country. The question is not this. The question is this, that these the people who are well read, those who know, those who are technologically advanced, or those who are tech savvy, they are the most involved. They are the most involved people in the white collar crimes. Okay, the term white collar crime was introduced into the criminological lexicon by Edwin Sutherland in 1939, fundamentally challenging the then prevailing stereotype that criminal activities was largely confined to the lower socio-economic strata. Sutherland's definition of white collar crime, a transgression committed by a person of respectability and high social status in the course of their occupation, revolutionized the understanding of criminal behavior, bringing to light the intricate and often concealed nature of offenses committed by individuals in positions of power and trust. See, that's what is a marvelous and a brilliant definition given by Edwin Sutherland. He says that it is a transgression and it is completely distinguishable from the blue collar crimes, those the crimes which are committed by completely a class that belongs to the labor sector, okay, or the unorganized sector. Transgression, a transgression committed by a person of respectability. This is a transgression. Crime is a transgression in general, but it is a transgression which is committed by a person of respectability. He's a person who enjoys a prestige in the society. and high social status in the course of their occupation. In the course of their occupation. For example, there are certain frauds that are committed in the banks. Okay. Revolutionize the understanding of criminal behavior, bringing to light the intricate and often concealed nature of offenses committed by individuals in positions of power and trust. Okay, if you read contract law, if you read company law, we will come across so many white collar crimes which are mentioned there. For example, there is a position of trust. There is a fiduciary relationship. When when you visit a doctor and you tell your intricate details and your confidential details to the doctor, you share your personal things with the doctor, you are in a fiduciary relationship. Fiduciary relationship means that where a relationship of trust is built between the two people, where one person blindly or has to believe the other person. You are believing the doctor and you have a strong belief that this person is not going to reveal your secrets in the society. That is why you have a confidence that you are able to tell your secrets to the doctor. Same is the case with the lawyer. The person comes to us and he tells most of his secrets to us. What is happening in the family and who is what. So the question is that these kinds of fiduciary relationships, and where this positions of power and trust, they are built up and they are broken into pieces, then there happens a white collar crime. White collar crimes encompass a diverse array of illicit activities, okay, predominantly non-violent but characterized by deceit, breach of trust, and the manipulation of institutional or financial systems for personal gain. These crimes include but are not limited to fraud, embezzlement, insider trading, money laundering, and violations of antitrust laws. The sophistication inherent in these offenses, coupled with the perpetrator's ability to exploit their professional standing, distinguishes white collar crime from traditional or blue collar crime, which is typically more overt and often involves physical violence. That's what I told you in the beginning of the video, that blue collar crimes, they involve mostly the physical violence. For example, if you are beating a person on the roadside, a person of high prestige is not going to do that. A person who is not concerned about his respect and prestige is definitely going to do this alongside the road. The question is that the blue collar crimes, they mostly involve the physical violence. Okay, a person like, for example, a doctor or a lawyer or somebody or an accountant or a CA or any bank employee is not going to snatch some lady's chain in the open market, or it's not going to steal or it's not going to pick somebody's pocket, because these are some of the offenses which are attributable to a class which is economically weaker and does not care about its prestige or respect in the society, because they don't have it. That is why, that is the reason. Although I am saying this with due care and caution and with utmost respect for every individual's dignity. Every individual has the same respect, same level of respect and same level of dignity. There is no distinguishes. But we are talking about the psychology. If there is a person who says that I don't have a respect, I'm just a laborer, I'm just a rickshaw puller, everybody admonishes me like anything. So why should I care for my respect? I will go and snatch some lady's chain, or I will go and pickpocket. I'll do some pickpocketing, because a person of high prestige is not going to do that. Okay, distinguishes white collar crime from traditional or blue collar crime, which is typically more overt, which is more open. Okay, people can see the crime happening. Okay, that is more overt. Physical, the white collar crimes, they are mostly virtual. They are more covert. Covert means they are hidden, they are covered. For example, I'm sitting on my system and on my desktop and I'm doing some fraud. I'm doing some embezzlement of funds, which is not seen by any other person. Later, it's going to be revealed. वो सब खुल जाएगा राज. जब घोटाला होगा तो सबको पता चलना ही है, बट अभी करते वक्त तो नहीं पता चलेगा ना. ओके, सो क्योंकि वर्चुअल है ये. अब देखिए कौन कौन से 5 क्रिटिकल एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं जो व्हाइट कॉलर क्राइम्स में आते हैं. वन इज क्रिमिनल नेचर. At its core, the conduct in question must constitute a crime under prevailing legal standards. 2. Respectability of the perpetrator. I've told you, the offender must be an individual who enjoys a certain level of societal respect and standing. Then high social status. Obviously, the crime must be committed by an individual who holds a position of significant social or economic stature. Occupational context. The criminal act must occur within the context of the individual's professional or occupational activities. Breach of trust. The offense typically involves a violation of trust, often within a fiduciary or professional relationship. Okay? Breach of trust. The offense typically involves violation of trust, often within a fiduciary or professional relationship. I've told you there is a breach of trust. Fiduciary relationship is there. Okay. These attributes highlight the complexity of white collar crime, which often involves the abuse of power, authority, or position for personal or corporate gain. This insidious nature of these crimes lies in their capacity to undermine public trust in institutions, erode the integrity of financial systems, and cause substantial economic harm. Historical evolution and societal impact. Now, like this is a very normal history. We can just go by a simple reading. The evolution of white collar crime in India mirrors the broader economic and social changes the country has undergone. During the colonial era, instances of economic fraud and corruption were primarily confined to government officials and the mercantile class. However, post-independence, as India transitioned to a mixed economy and subsequently embraced liberalization in the 1990s, the opportunities for white-collar crimes expanded exponentially. See, this actually happened. 1990s में जब liberal LPG reforms आए, liberalization, privatization and globalization, new economic reforms or new economic policy, what it was called in those days. So 1991 में जब इकोनॉमी ओपन हुई, मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम आया, तो ये मर्केंटाइलिज्म जो था वो हर जगह फैल गया. तो जाहिर सी बात है, जब हर किसी के पास हो गया, पहले गिने चुने एंटरप्रेन्योर्स थे, बिजनेस क्लास थी, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स थे, व्हाइट कॉलर क्राइम से वहीं तक कन्फाइंड था. अभी क्या एवरीबॉडी इज डूइंग इट. तो फिर क्या हो गया, व्हाइट कॉलर क्राइम्स भी एक्सपैंडेड exponential. White collar crimes also expanded exponentially. Okay. Then comes the rapid growth of the corporate sector, coupled with advancements in technology and financial instruments, provided fertile ground for sophisticated financial crimes. The liberalization of the economy, while fostering growth and innovation, also exposed regulatory gaps that were swiftly exploited by unscrupulous individuals and entities. High-profile scandals that have plagued India's financial markets in recent decades, such as the Harshad Mehta scam. I don't know if you must have heard about Harshad Mehta scam. There is a web series on Z5 also, sorry, on Harshad Mehta. How he was involved in a biggest scandal, what it was called in the 90s, biggest scandal of share market, share bazaar. So Harshad Mehta scam, the Satyam scandal, and the more recent cases involving the PNB fraud underscore the pervasive nature of white collar crime and its potential to cause widespread economic disruption. Now, types. What are the types? We can see there is a fraud. A pervasive white collar crime fraud involves the deliberate deception of individuals and entities to secure unlawful gain. Common manifestations of fraud include securities fraud, bank fraud, and corporate fraud, where the perpetrators exploit their positions to mislead investors, shareholders, or regulatory bodies. Then comes insider trading. This offense involves trading stocks or other securities based on material non-public information, thereby gaining an unfair advantage in financial markets. This is what Harshad Mehta actually did. Insider trading means there is some information in the market, and all the investors, they have to rely and play on the same information which is available in the market. Now, for example, if I am one of the investors, what if I create some contacts inside the office or inside the concerned enterprise? I get into the contacts, and I get to know some of the most important secrets of the enterprise. This is known as insider trading, and आई एम गेटिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन. हर्षद मेहता को अंदर की सारी डिटेल्स मिल गई थी. आप देखिए, नॉन पब्लिक इन्फॉर्मेशन दे बाय गेनिंग एन अनफेयर एडवांटेज. तो अनफेयर एडवांटेज मिलेगा ना आपको. आप सारे इन्वेस्टर्स बेचारे जो हैं वो पब्लिक इन्फॉर्मेशन पर बिलीव कर रहे हैं. आपको ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन पता है जो अंदर तक की बात है, सारी बातें आपको पता चल गई हैं गलत तरीके से, तो अनफेयर एडवांटेज आपको मिलेगा. Insider trading not only undermines the integrity of financial markets but also erodes investor confidence. Now, Ponzi schemes. Named after Charles Ponzi, this fraudulent investment scheme promises high returns with little risk to investors. However, the returns are paid using the capital of new investors rather than through legitimate profits, leading to inevitable collapse once the inflow of new investments ceases. Now, Charles Ponzi, this fraudulent investment scheme promises high returns with little risk to investors. However, returns are paid using the capital of new investors rather than through legitimate profits. रिटर्न कैसे आता है? आपने इन्वेस्ट किया, अब जो प्रॉफिट जनरेट होगा आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट की परसेंटेज निकाल के वो उतना प्रॉफिट आपको दे दिया जाएगा. लेकिन यहां पर क्या होता है पॉन्जी स्कीम्स में कि बड़े बड़े कैपिटल्स, मैंने इन्वेस्ट किया, मेरा प्रॉफिट कहां से मिलेगा? आपके कैपिटल से. जब आपका कैपिटल मेरे पास आ जाएगा तो वो रिटर्न से जो है वो प्रॉफिट बनेगा. Embezzlement. Embezzlement entails the misappropriation of funds or assets entrusted to an individual, typically within a fiduciary or employment relationship. This crime is often perpetrated by employees, accountants, or financial officers who divert company funds for personal use. Money laundering. Money laundering involves the process of disguising illegally obtained frauds as legitimate income. This is often achieved through a series of complex financial transactions designed to obscure the origins of the money, making it difficult for law enforcement agencies to trace. Tax evasion. A serious white-collar crime, tax evasion involves the illegal avoidance of paying taxes by individuals or corporations. Perpetrators typically conceal income, underreport profits, or inflate deductions to reduce their tax liability. Counterfeiting. This crime involves the production and distribution of fake currency, documents, or goods, often with the use of sophisticated technology. Counterfeiting poses a significant threat to economic stability and national security. Corporate espionage, also known as industrial espionage, this crime involves the illicit acquisition of trade secrets, proprietary information, or other confidential data for competitive advantage or financial gain. This corresponds to insider trading. Corporate espionage means that you are getting information from within the enterprise and you are taking illicit advantage of it. Okay, trade secrets. You have got to know some of the trade secrets and you have got to know some proprietary information and other confidential data because of which you are having an edge over the other investors or other employees. This is known as corporate espionage, that you have spied over something and you have got to know some of the trade secrets. This is not allowed. Now, what is the legal framework for dealing with the white collar crimes? We had the IPC. Now we have the BNS. It's not that the BNS does not cover these things. BNS equally covers all those what was mentioned in the IPC. So cheating, misrepresentation, these are all the things which were dealt and which are being dealt under the present law, BNS also. Then we have the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. This act specifically targets corruption within the public sector, criminalizing acts of bribery, abuse of office, and other forms of corrupt practices by public officials. Then we have the Companies Act 2013. The Companies Act provides a comprehensive regulatory framework for corporate governance in India, addressing issues such as fraud, insider trading, and financial mismanagement. The Act includes provisions that mandate strict compliance with corporate governance standards and impose penalties for violations. The Securities and Exchange Board of India Act 1992, SEBI, as the regulator of the securities market in India, plays a crucial role in combating white-collar crimes such as insider trading, market manipulation, and securities fraud. The SEBI Act, actually, the Harshad Mehta was committed under this. Okay. Harshad Mehta scam was committed under this. The SEBI Act empowers the regulator to investigate, prosecute offences related to the securities market. Then we have the PMLA, very well known these days because ministers are being caught under this. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. I must tell you this, that this act was originally legislated in order to curb the generation of black money through smuggling. Okay, but eventually it was amended, and over passage of time it has been legislated and amended to an extent to cover almost all kinds of embezzlements of funds. So the PMLA is a key legislative tool in India's fight against money laundering. It imposes stringent reporting requirements on financial institutions and provides for the confiscation of assets derived from illegal activities. The Income Tax Act 1961. This act includes provisions that penalize tax evasion and related offences. The act empowers tax authorities to conduct raids, seize assets, and impose fines on individuals and corporations found guilty of tax evasion. Now, there are some notable case studies. Harshad Mehta scam, it was committed in 1992. Okay, then it was Sahara India Real Estate Corporation Limited and Sahara Housing Investment Corporation Limited. I have done one of this case on against Sahara because people had bought some of the schemes. This housing scheme, Sahara Housing Scheme, they issued some of the, offers before the public, and the public bought some of the bonds from the Sahara. और उसके बाद क्या हुआ, वो ऑफिस गायब हो गया बाकायदा. जब वो बॉन्ड को इनकैश कराने की बात आई तो वो सब कुछ गायब हो चुका था वहां से. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अभी इसके ऊपर रिसेंटली बहुत सहारा को के ऊपर बहुत कर्रा फाइन लगाया है. तो ये सब व्हाइट कॉलर क्राइम्स है. सत्यम स्कैंडल 2009, द सत्यम स्कैंडल, वन ऑफ India's largest corporate frauds, involved the manipulation of the company's financial records by its founder B. Ramalinga Raju. The scandal led to a loss of rupees 14,000 crore and resulted in significant reforms in corporate governance practices in India. Shraddha Chit Fund case 2013, the Shraddha scam, Sarda scam involved a massive Ponzi scheme that defrauded millions of investors in West Bengal. So, these are some of the white collar crimes. I hope you must have enjoyed this video and you must have got a fair idea about white collar crimes in India. Thank you.